Roll number 2, XTX Germany. Dachau concentration camp, Dr. Kujtesë.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Kujtesë, you are Kujtesë, yes, thank you. You are the ex-information minister from Albania, as I understand it.
Well, I am an ancient Albanian newspaperman who was the editor-in-chief of some Albanian political newspapers, and in the latest times I was the editor-in-chief of the Albanian review, which was called The Nation. I can give you just a short view of the aims of this review. This was the leading review against the Italian politics in Albania, and in the last days of my country, that is before 1939, I led the Albanian propaganda, the Albanian press.
Well, that brought you into conflict with the Italian invader at that time, I suppose.
Yes.
And eventually it led you to this situation that you were in here a week ago.
Yes. Well, the Italians invaded my country, as you know, in 1939, in the 7th of April. And immediately when they were in, they got a lot of the Albanian political factors, and they sent in different places of Italia. And it was exactly on this time, and I remember it now, on the 11th of April, that I myself was arrested and sent in different places of Italia, where I passed about 4.5 years.
4.5 years in confinement in the hands of the SS.
In the hands of the fascist policy.
Fascist policy.
Italian fascist policy.
What brought you to this SS camp?
Well, after the Italian capitulation, I returned in Tirana. And there, of course, the Germans had then occupied my country. And the Germans tried to build an Albanian government. And as soon as I was found in Tirana, they, whose methods and means all the world knows, were in this moment trying to build a formal Albanian government that would justify in some way all what they would do in Albania. And as soon as I arrived in Tirana, of course, the Germans asked me to take in my hands the Ministry of Culture and Propaganda. Of course, I refused. And it is the reason which led me to this camp. First to the prison of Vienna, and then to the camp of Dachau. I suppose it will be very interesting for the world to say something about the prison of Vienna, where I passed about 7 months.
Well, we've seen this last week since we've been here. We've seen a good deal of Dachau. I wish you'd tell us a little bit about your experience here in the camp.
Well, I arrived here about 12 months ago, and when I arrived here, of course, I found the camp in a very great fever of hope for the Allied victory, because all knew then that the German nation had come to its end.
Can I interrupt you just 1 second, Doctor? What would have been the hope of the people in the camp if the Allies had not carried the war on to as far as this camp for an actual liberation? What would your hope for the future be?
Death, total death.
Parole, escape, time off for good conduct?
Only those who were usually during this war named Quislings of Europe would most probably in the next time, if they would serve well their master, might have some possibilities of living. But for the rest, for those who were against, it was immediate death. For the rest of the masses, it was a long starvation and the epilogue a death.
Tell us something about your life while you've been here in this camp.
Well, I may only relate you an instance of my life here in the camp. And that was in the winter, in the last winter. I was got by a very strong fever because I was suffering when I came here in this camp from lungs, and I have a pneumothorax. I got cold and I had a very strong fever, and this fever led me to some people and some friends who interfered that I might be taken in the TBC station of the house. I went there. The way in which they received the people here in the dispensary of the house was this. All the people who would have been received every evening were taken to the bathroom, which is about 500 meters from in the dispensary. There they would bathe, they were undressed, was given to them a shirt, and only with this shirt, and some barefooted, and some with wood shoes, were led from the bath to the dispensary. You should not forget, of course, that it was winter, and it was about 25 degrees below zero. So the people went to the dispensary. They got there, of course, a bed and one cover. They suffered for about 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, the people, the responsible people of dispensary, gave them, in addition to their shirts, also a pair of trousers. And in this shirt and in these trousers, they would have to stay there for the period until they were recovered. I saw some hundreds of people who died, because you know that last autumn arrived here all the people of the camp of Natzweiler, and these people arrived in very bad conditions, and a very great part of them was, of course, has here in Dachau died. The cures that were given in the dispensary were very poor. No medicaments, no special cures, how I can say it. The doctor was, of course, obliged to come there, because the doctor was a prisoner, usually, and he was obliged to come there and give courage to the different peoples, but only with words. You know that the SS people made all what was possible, that in the dispensary of Dachau doesn't exist medicaments, and the dispensary was not other but a trying place for long years.
I understand that from what I've seen. Well, thank you, Dr. Kujtesë. You want to...
Well, as you know, here in Dachau exists today an international prisoners committee, and of course the activity of this committee goes at about 7 or 8 months before. Before the arrival of the American troops, we were obliged to work underground, and we worked and carried on our work until on the 28th of the last month. On the 28th, about 20 hours before the American troops arrived in this camp, we got the reins of the camp in our hands. In this case, I, a member of the committee and in charge for the information and press of the camp, I want to send a little message in the name of the committee to our liberators. In these moments of extreme joy and universal jubilee, my mind flies over the seas to the formidable and marvelous people of the United States, who so much contributed for the world's liberty and for our freedom. It is with the help of the noble and generous blood of the American soldiers that Europe won its liberty, and that the right history of the world will find its way. To these people, so rich in traditions of liberty and democratical principles, I, in the name of the International Prisoners Committee of Dachau, send my best greetings. What they did for us, we know, and only today that the Hitlerian beast is at its knees confessing the innumerable crimes and the enormous tortures that the sinistrous mind of Himmler could ever create. Only now we can plainly... Only now we can plainly realize the formidable work of the American friends. Long live the Allied glorious armies. Long live America.
Thank you. Scott. Okay. All right, thank you very much.
And now we bring the